Hi my love, welcome back to a new video. My name is Nia if you are new here. Today's not a vlog, but we're gonna do a little sit down, little chitty chat, a little yap about my top wellness things. Some a little luxury, some a little niche, some a little bit more affordable, some a little bit pricier. Things that you need to level up your wellness journey. And I don't just say that lightly. I genuinely mean these things have helped my wellness journey overall. And these are not sponsored, unfiltered, very much not gifted. So these are all things I've bought with my hard-earned money, and I use them regularly. You've seen me use them in my videos. So let's get into it. Let's get started. So what I'll do with each of the products is I'll talk about kind of just the pros, cons of each, and just the research and things and information that I've garnered regarding each of these wellness products. And of course, do your own research, do your own, due diligence, and make sure you check it out. Don't just take my word for it. Make sure you look into it and see if it's something that's right for you. But then I'm also going to tell you how I incorporate it into my routine and what that looks like for me in a practical sense, so you can find maybe a way that it applies for you. So if it sounds like something that applies to you, maybe it's something to look into and maybe invest in for the future. So first, we're going to start off strong. One of my favorites, and this is probably one of my newer babies to the routine. This is my Mito Red Light. It's a red light therapy, infrared therapy machine. And so this is the travel size one, and it comes in this nice travel wonderful case. It comes with the charger. It actually comes with the goggles, because you make sure you always want to protect your eyes when you're using an infrared LED light machine. And I want to show you, oh no. So it's a thick baby, and I had mentioned this in my other video that you want to get, if you're gonna get and invest in a red light machine, really do your due diligence on what the actual contents of the machine are, so that you're making sure you're getting an actual infrared light. Professional athletes, wellness recovery studios, spas, a lot of times use these kinds of machines, and you'll see them a lot in those kinds of spaces. So you want to make sure you're gonna get something that reaches those professional quality standards, because you don't just want to buy something and all it is a red light bulb. And then what are you doing? Absolutely nothing. So there's a few key things with red light therapy that I personally love and use it for. Some of the benefits that really I've seen the most improvement of. First being improved skin health, because red light therapy really penetrates down to, of course, the cellular level of your skin and helps with that cellular reproduction. It's really going to get down, stimulate your collagen, stimulate your cells, and really work on those fine lines, any scars that you may have. I really struggle with hyperpigmentation, so red light therapy is great for hyperpigmentation if that's something that you struggle with. A lot of times you'll see red light therapy masks that are specifically meant, again, to go as a mask on your face, but I love having a red light therapy device or machine so that I can have it for other parts of my body to make sure I'm getting all the benefits for it, not just localized on my face, but improving skin health all over. So you can put it on your back, you can put it, wherever you may have scarring or need that extra bit of healing and bring that collagen production. Red light therapy is that girl. Specifically, if you're someone who goes to the gym a lot, I do a lot of strength training. I also do a lot of reformer Pilates, hot Pilates. I move my body a lot, at least 5 to 6 times a week. So oftentimes I'm very sore. I think we're getting the gains. However, you do need to make sure you're focusing on recovery. And I love red light therapy for recovery. Athletes, professional athletes, collegiate, and even physical therapy, they use red light therapy to help with muscle, those tears, the muscle reproduction, and to help aid your body's natural recovery process. It is so good for that. So if you're ever trying to massage, some soreness, or do some deep tissue massage, and you have red light therapy on top of that, it's really going to be helpful with your recovery process and getting those gains. These BBL allegations are not going to maintain themselves, so red light therapy is something I've incorporated that has truly helped change the game for my sleep and getting really deep sleep. And it helps with your circadian rhythm. It helps with feeling more relaxed and in tune with your body. So the last thing that I'll say about red light therapy, for just how I do it practically at night, is I will do, this one specifically has a little time function on it, and it has 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And so I'll do 10-minute session per spot. You really shouldn't do more than 10 to 15 minutes, especially if you're in the beginning of just trying out red light therapy, or even if you don't want to invest in a red light therapy device for yourself just yet and you want to try it out. Look up a spa or a wellness recovery center specifically that's near you that offers like maybe saunas, cold plunges, often red light therapy, maybe cupping. Those are different things that are offered at wellness centers like that. And try out red light therapy at a place like that so you can just get the full experience of it and see if it's something that you may be interested in following up for. Of course, you're going to see better results the more often that you do it, but I definitely encourage that. When I went on vacation last year in the summer and I went to like a wellness recovery center in Arizona, I had the experience of going into a red light room that had 2 full body like red light panels. And when I tell you it changed me, I never slept better. I will say that is a lot more intense than just the at-home device, because you will like sweat probably. And I was, bare bones. I was getting all the recovery and all of the red light therapy benefits all over. But I was like, yes, immediately continue to sign me up. I want to do this regularly. So that's what I would encourage. And yeah, I love red light therapy and just has changed the game, especially for my skin. We've been rocking right now, okay? 10s across the board. Okay, next little gadget and gizmo. I'm just a girl with her wellness gadgets and gizmos, okay? Some people spend their money on bags. I do that as well. Some people spend their money on, food. I do that as well. And some people spend their money on wellness products. I also do that as well. So, well, that's a whole nother discussion. But anyways, so the next thing I want to talk about is this. This is the Oculax. It's a heated eye massager. And if you are someone who struggles with, and this is what it looks like outside the box, almost like Frozone, his mask. That's what it looks like. If you're someone who struggles with TMJ issues or with migraines, headaches, or just tension in your jaw and your face, like just really tense, like this is what my jaw is like. It's like really tense. So I've had really bad TMJ issues in the past. Like I've gone to the dentist like lockjaw, just not well. But and for migraines, heated eye massager. Because sometimes, you don't always want to continually rely on like Tylenol, Advil, like any just, over-the-counter pain relief. Obviously that has its time and its place, but you want to like get more to the root of the cause and just actually relieve and relax and continue to be in the practice of relaxing tension in your body. Heated eye massager. So this also has like a timer on it, but if you power it up, I'm pretty sure if you power it up, and then it has different settings where it can do like vibrate. It actually has a sound machine on here, so it'll be like a little water sound, and it becomes heated on the inside, and then the massagers move between your eyes and on the temples of your head. So it really helps with relaxing all the tension in your face. You hear it? It's like, she's in there doing her thing. But anyways, so yeah, so it like compresses and it massages. It's just really great for, again, relieving that tension in your face, in your like mouth, jaw, head area. If you really struggle with like TMJ, any of that. And if you've ever considered like getting like master Botox or anything like that, and you don't want to go to like those kind of lengths, and you just want to maybe purchase something at home a little bit more holistically and try that route, I would say this is definitely the thing for you. Okay, so I would say practically how I incorporate this into my routine is I work like 100%, like almost all of us, a lot of us do these days, work staring at a screen all day. So my eyes are really tense, a lot of eye strain, a lot of, again, focusing on those screens and having all that blue light. At the end of the day, I like to do just a few minutes of my heated eye massager to, again, relax the muscles in my eyes, because you don't even realize, even if you don't overtly feel it, that your eyes are being put under so much stress and strain by looking at the computer, your phone, multiple devices, all those kinds of things all the time. So making sure that you take the time to not only relieve your body in some kind of way in your mind, but also just even the more specific targeted parts of your body. So relieving that stress and strain that's on your eyes. That's the first thing that I love to do. So after the end of the day, when I can like close all my laptops, close all my phones, close all the devices, shut it all down, put that heated eye massager on. And when's the last time you actually just like put something on that like covered your eyes so you can't even reach for your phone, you can't even reach to look at a YouTube video, to look at Netflix, to look at anything, and just disconnect for just a few minutes. Wood roller. Okay, Again, I told you these BBL allegations are not going to maintain themselves. And anyone who's gotten a BBL, and it would be more people than you would think. Okay, you would think we're in a recession, but the girlies are getting BBLs. So what's up with that? Anyway, this is the wood therapy roller. This is one of like many wood therapy tools that you can find and use. There's wood cups, there's curved handle wood roller therapies. I had that one before I broke it because I was, again, maintaining the BBL allegations. All right. Period. But what I really love the wood roller therapy for, and many benefits of this, is it's just manual lymphatic drainage. And if you don't know what your lymphatic drainage system is, don't worry. I'm here to educate. I'm here to help. Your lymphatic system is already a natural process that's occurring in your body. This is already something that's going on in your body. This is just a manual tool that just helps with that, okay? Just helps aid it along, but you're already naturally doing it on your own. You're removing wastes and toxins and chemicals and all those things from your body naturally, okay? So really the goal with any wood rolling therapy tool is just natural and physical moving of any excess fluid or liquid that you may be retaining on your body, on your muscles, on your, bones, just in your lymphatic system in general, to help move and manually flush out those toxins that may be sitting on your body. So I love this again for recovery, muscles, and with anything that has to do with like recovery in your muscles and your lymphatic system. This tool is awesome. And if you've ever played any sports before, or you've ever done any kind of physical therapy, you've probably had some similar tool, maybe not a wood therapy tool used, or maybe just like any kind of roller to roll out, to stretch, a foam roller. These things are very similar in nature for what they're used for, your fascial system, and so all kinds of things. We can go granular. So I'll save you the biology lesson for today. You'd actually be surprised that you're doing lymphatic drainage and moving your lymph without using any kind of tool already. When you exercise, when you stretch, when you do any kind of really good movement for your body, you are doing lymphatic drainage and moving toxins throughout your body. So a wood roller therapy is only going to enhance that by just manually helping to move the excess fluids off your body. So again, I love to use this to do deep tissue muscle massages. So I'll do this before bed. I'll roll my stomach, roll my arms, roll my legs, especially when they're really sore from leg days. It's really good if someone gives you like a back massage and just roll that thing out, okay? Don't stand up and think that you're gonna have lost like 20 pounds just by someone rubbing you out or you rubbing yourself out with this tool. But you'll definitely see probably a noticeable difference, especially the more often and frequent, again, that you do this in like your physical appearance. But again, you're not gonna like just stand up and 20 pounds are just gonna shave off you or have a BBL. So benefits, again, detoxification, reducing that swelling and muscle tension, muscle relief, water retention. I would say I do like almost all of these things in my night routine itself. You could do it, of course, in the morning, midday, whatever kind of works for you. But I would say wood roll therapy, I mostly do on the days, like the second day after like I do a heavier lift, or even just after I've had, not directly after I've had a big meal, maybe the next day after I had a really big meal and I feel a little bit more water retention and I want to roll out my stomach. And I'm gonna, TMI, if you roll out your stomach with this, you're going to take a large deuce. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. And don't be surprised. You'll be rubbing, rolling for like 10 minutes. Then 5 minutes after that, you're like, oh, whoa. Big. Okay, and this next thing isn't even something that's like a physical device or something maybe you need to buy. So we love a good free. We love a good free, and I talked about this briefly in my nighttime routine video, and when I tell you, it may sound a little woo-woo, okay, whatever, but I feel like it's so important. You know how at work sometimes they'll make you do like those like personality quizzes to kind of figure out what kind of working style you are, blah, 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 blah. This is something you need to take for yourself. This is called your sleep chronotype, and like I said, I talked about this in my night routine video in ways that I optimize my sleep as someone who struggled, okay? Struggled, okay? When I say struggled, we're not even gonna go there. struggled with going to sleep because I just never was the kind of person who could naturally hit the bed and just knock out. And also I just get going later at night. Like I feel like that's when my creativity is flowing, that's when I'm flowing, that's when I'm alive. I have like my zoomies at night. I'm like a 5-year-old. This goes back to when I was younger. Like I just never wanted to go to bed. But as I've gotten older, and just continued to go into my wellness journey, I realized how important sleep is. And that's probably why I was so insufferable and crashing out, is because I wasn't getting enough sleep. So now that we're trying to fix that and continuing to fix that, I encourage you to take a sleep chronotype quiz. I'll find one and like link it down below, or put a couple of books down below that talk about sleep chronotypes. It's basically an assessment that gives you a classification, or a loose classification, based on your natural energy and awake tendencies. And the world is built obviously for like the 9-to-5 workday, but not all of us are our most productive selves and our most creative, most, in flow state kind of self during those hours. Some of us maybe more so in the morning, in the late afternoon, late at night, like whatever that looks like for you. And also how much sleep and like when your sleep windows are kind of optimal. So this test is going to give you that kind of category, and not that you have to follow it very strictly, but it gives you a better idea. Okay, maybe I need to frame my day a little bit more around doing my workout during this time of day, or doing my administrative, tasks that I need to really lock in and focus on during this time of day. Maybe I need to go to sleep during this time of day. So your sleep chronotype can be really informative to help you with your like daily routines, schedules, and all of that. Because you really want to be working with your own body's like circadian rhythm, which is like your internal clock. Like there's a clock on the wall, there's a clock in your body that tells you, it's time to power it down. Okay, it's time to power it up. Okay, it's time to lock in and get going. And you really know, without even having to taking a quiz or an assessment, you really know when you're fighting against or with that. Like when you're really pushing yourself on those days and in those hours of the day when you're like, feel like you're dragging, okay? When you feel like you're dragging, and also when you feel like you just can't get the right amount of sleep. Like maybe you've gone to sleep, you got the proper amount of hours of sleep, but you didn't feel rested. So there's a bunch of things that play obviously into your rest, but definitely check out your sleep chronotypes. So there are 4 different types. There's the lion, the bear, the wolf, and the dolphin. So the lion is the morning sleep chronotype. This person is typically an early riser. You like to wake up early between maybe 5 and 6 a.m. And that's when you feel really super energetic and productive in the morning. Now, you would think based on that description and based on like the vlogs and things that you've seen that that's me. It's not. And if you know me in real life, you know it's absolutely not me. Like I do not pop up in the morning. You actually could drive a bus through my bedroom and I wouldn't even know it. Next is a bear. So the bear generally follows the natural light and dark cycle like of the daytime. So they feel most awake around the mid-morning, so that's roughly like 9-10 a.m. And then in the mid-evening, that's when they start to like taper back down around 6 p.m. Bears typically wake up between 7 and 8 and go to bed around 10, 11, and again, getting that sleep 7 to 9 hours. Bears are pretty adaptable because the day is pretty much built for this kind of person. The wolves are natural night owls, most energetic and productive in the late afternoon, typically from like 4 to midnight, even later than that sometimes. And your sleep schedule tends to, you want to go to bed later, like after midnight. Like you typically, like midnight hits and then you start to get tired and want to wind down and wake up later in the morning between 9, 10, 11 a.m. Now, dolphins are considered the most irregular sleep pattern. This is the last chronotype. They're very light sleepers, very, very light, easy to like wake you up. You drop a dime and that person just wakes up in the middle of the night and then they have difficulty going back to sleep. They typically struggle with like insomnia and things like that. Dolphins tend to wake up early, but they often experience poor quality sleep again because they're such light sleepers. And so they're often like pretty exhausted throughout the day, honestly, and can have, again, those irregular sleep patterns. So not every night looks the same. If one of those things resonated with you, you're like, girl, I don't even need to take the quiz because you already described me. I would say, again, how I practically align my day around this is knowing that I'm a wolf, knowing that I'm someone who's more creative towards that evening time, going to bed late, and like wanting to naturally wake up later in the morning, is I try to prioritize my creative endeavors for those times of the evening. Obviously also because I have to work, but even just in general, I know like if I'm really trying to edit a really good YouTube video or just think of creative ideas, eat, pray, love, and mind my business, as I like to say, I like to save those things for the evening, because in the morning I'm just not firing. And I like to do kind of just administrative things, I guess you could say, or more routine things I don't necessarily have to think about in the morning, like going to the gym, or things that kind of like wake me up and that I can just, go and follow and boom, 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 knock it out, and then work my way into things that require more problem solving, complex issues throughout the afternoon. Not something you need to purchase or buy, but I personally think would extremely level up your wellness routine in 2025. Okay, and last but certainly not least, my acupressure mat. This is like a two-part thing. So this is the part for your back, and there's the part that goes under your neck. So acupressure mats are intended to give you similar benefits without the use of needles to acupuncture. So you're really going to be focusing on getting those pressure points and those tension points in your body and relieving the tension and relieving the pressure in them. So it looks a little scary. It looks a little like daunting. And you're like, Neo, girl, what are we doing over there? It's getting a little scary. But trust me, you can like do it with like a thin piece of clothing on, like a thin t-shirt on, or you can do it butterball, bare, and lay on there and work your way up to that. But it doesn't penetrate your skin at all. And let me see if I can show you like close up to it doesn't penetrate your skin at all. It's just like these spikes that press up against your body. And then you'll see that it'll like, after you lay on it, at first you're gonna be like, ooh, this is a little uncomfortable, but then you just have to deep breathe, let your body kind of sink into it. And after a few minutes of laying on the mat, and when you get off of it, wow. When I say wow, I mean wow. The pressure relief in your body is unfreaking real. It's almost like, when you, again, just have any kind of pressure point, or you like press your temples and then you release it and you feel like the blood kind of rush to that area. That's what it feels like down your whole back and your whole neck to relieve pressure and pain. And especially for my ladies, if you are having like cramps, if you suffer from really severe like PMS, I can't even recommend this enough. This is probably like the thing that I've been doing the longest is acupressure because I have really bad PMS, PMDD, the whole thing. And if I'm having really bad cramps, I'll lay on my acupressure mat because it almost like redirects the pain in my body and is like, okay, let's go here. And then the pressure just gets like relieved all over and helps me relax. So I can't even recommend it enough if you have really bad PMS symptoms, or if it's that time of the month coming up and you're like, okay, I know my body's getting a little tense and I need to release the pressure. 10 out of 10 gonna help with circulation in your body. If you have poor circulation, or you spend long hours, again, sitting down on the computer, you take long flights, any kind of period where you're not getting really good blood circulation, I would 100% recommend having a acupressure mat, maybe even to travel with. And then like surprisingly, a really surprising benefit of acupressure mats is having more energy, because something about the endorphins that gets released and just everything that goes into, doing this acupressure routine, the endorphins that are released in your body, you feel so much more energized, but in a relaxed way. You don't feel like a cup of coffee where like you're juiced up and you're like, all right, let's go, let's take on the world. But you feel this like, again, this calmness, but energized and ready to go and feel more in tune and in touch with your body. Again, can't say enough good things about the acupressure mat. And I've put on quite a few people to doing acupressure, especially if you're like, I don't know about acupuncture, like what we got going on over there with the needles, woo, 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 whoop-de-whoop. Acupressure is a great place to start. And again, you can do this at home, set a timer for 10, 15 minutes, lay on your bed and just do it. When I tell you at night, I've wellness girlied so hard that at night I have my acupressure mat, my red light therapy on, wood rolling. Like I'm in here at like the spa, basically. I basically turn my night routine to a spa. And that's what you want to do. And that's what I know you want to do to level up your wellness routine for 2025. So those are my like top wellness luxury niche items that I use in my routine multiple times a week, if not every day. And again, none of this is sponsored, none of this is gifted, any of it. I just really love and use these things all the time. Some of them from Amazon, some of them from a couple other companies. So I'll link everything down below. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have any questions or if you want to see me use any of these things in more depth. Anything you want to see, please let me know. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.